CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Scorching temperatures are expected to start easing tomorrow, but it will still be days before more comfortable daytime highs arrive. Environment Canada officials say they expect a yellow heat warning to remain in effect into Thursday. On top of that, we could start to see air quality deteriorate in the next couple days because of Northern Ontario wildfires. An indefinite burn ban is also going into effect starting tomorrow across Middlesex County. And as Geneviève Beauchemin reports, we aren't the only ones sweltering under these conditions right now.
The sky turned dark as night in what should be full daylight in La Tuque, Quebec, northeast of Montreal.
Regardez ça, toutes les lumières de nuit sont allumées.
The sudden nightfall at mid-morning triggered city lights to switch on. The pitch-black conditions were courtesy of a perfect storm, a mix of thunderstorms and smoke from wildfires from northern regions of the country, and add to that sweltering temperatures. Now, that same plume of smoke hung eerily over Montreal, casting what seemed like a yellow filter on the cityscape.
I'm a mover, so I moved somebody today. It was super heavy on the lungs, super hot.
Hot as several provinces swelter under a heat dome, a high-pressure system trapping high temperatures over a large section of the country. In Toronto, it was another sweaty day. Temperatures hit the upper 30s, and with humidity, it was stifling.
Too hot for me.
Public health authorities urged people to watch for signs of heat-related illness and to check in on the most vulnerable. In Winnipeg, concrete expanded under oppressive heat, and now emergency repair crews are racing to fix buckled roads and sidewalks. In some regions of Quebec, Environment Canada warned conditions were in place for the creation of tornadoes, but it also cautioned against squalls.
That is the most imminent threat that we're concerned with. Winds up to 100 kilometers per hour, which can take down some trees and power lines and have all things flying around.
And so many are bracing to see what could actually come down. And Environment Canada says it will continue to watch this weather closely and issue more alerts if necessary. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And Julie Atchison will have much more on the weather story a little later in the newscast. The first tenants are moving into a new mixed-income housing development in London's Soho neighborhood. As Rita Ismail reports, the project is meant to offer affordable accommodations as the cost of housing climbs higher.
Just months ago, Carrie Hart says she was staying at a shelter, sometimes even sleeping in her car while searching for an apartment she could afford. Today, the 66-year-old is settling into a brand new home at Village Soho.
The rents were out of control, and there was no way when you're bringing in $2,800 a month, you can't pay $2,400 for rent.
Welcome to River Ridge.
Hart is one of the first tenants moving into Village Soho, a new mixed-income community built on the former Victoria Hospital lands. More than half of the development's 690 rental apartments are classified as affordable, giving people who have struggled with rising housing costs another option.
When they showed me this apartment, it was just unbelievably beautiful.
The project is the result of 6 nonprofit housing organizations working together to create a community where affordable and market rate housing exist side by side.
What the whole Village Soho concept is, it's a mixed community, meaning there's affordable units, but there's also market units. Because as everyone knows, construction is very expensive, and we need everyone to kind of pay a fair share, but the market units help subsidize the affordable units, and it really is a nice cross-section of the city.
Housing advocates say projects like Village Soho also help change how people think about affordable housing.
One of the messages that I really took to heart from Sister Joan Atkinson, who was one of the visionary leaders of Village Soho, is we need to change the messaging around affordable, because we all live where we can afford.
4 of the 5 new buildings are now complete and open to tenants, with the final phase expected in 2028. Organizers are also inviting the public to tour the new Village Soho community during an open house this Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
A $13 million cocaine importation case has been thrown out in Windsor because of how the suspected trafficker was treated by Canadian border agents.
The courts cannot condone these types of egregious charter violations.
The suspect was first detained because he had $10,000 in undeclared cash back in October 2023. The judge determined his charter rights were subsequently violated by the border agents, which included a naked strip search without good reason. The judge ruled the drugs weren't discovered until several hours after those violations took place, and those violations were egregious enough, the charges against the suspect were stayed.
Regardless of the nature of the charge itself, regardless of how serious the charge is, our charter rights are paramount, and the courts are here to protect our charter rights. Where there are violations, there will be appropriate remedies. So in short, we were happy, and I think everybody should be happy that the court did the right thing.
A case here in London was recently thrown out because of local police officer actions, which included lying on the witness stand in court. John Woodward has more on the gaps in the system for reporting dishonest officers.
This is surveillance video in a parkade in London, Ontario. That's a Toronto man on the ground getting arrested, and there, a police officer kicks him in the face, something a judge found the officer lied about in testimony.
It's surprising because it's an easy lie to catch if the officer is saying one thing, but the objective video evidence is showing another.
Dishonesty by police on the stand happens occasionally. A report by Western University earlier this year identified since 2015 11 cases where officers from the Toronto Police Service and Peel Regional Police lied or provided false testimony. In high-profile cases, police forces often take action directly, like in this case from 2015, where a judge found a Peel officer stole a Tony Montana statue from a storage locker during a search and lied about it. Not all cases make the news. Prosecutors have an obligation to flag an officer to their own police service if a trial crown becomes aware of credible and reliable information that an officer has been deliberately untruthful under oath. An FOI by CTV News shows that's happened 28 times in the last decade. But those cases identified in the Western report weren't on the list, a sign that there are gaps in the system, says NDP MPP Jenny Stevens.
An overwhelming majority of police officers serve with integrity. So I want to be very clear, honesty in the justice system is a non-negotiable.
A spokesperson for Ontario's Attorney General said our list may not capture some types of cases, but stressed it is fundamental to the administration of justice that police officers' statements made under oath are truthful. When confronted with the dishonesty at court over this incident in London, the judge's reaction was to toss the charges. John Woodward, CTV News.
A policy requiring large offices be located in downtown London has complicated a plan by a local tech company, Carfax, to relocate to Westmount Commons Mall.
If business decides that it has to tick several boxes and they can't find it in London, Ontario, they will simply move. And what a disaster that would be. 800 jobs going bye-bye.
That will set a precedent that will forever hurt the downtown, its recovery, and what we all here say we want to bring our core to.
Representatives for Farhi Developments asked the Planning Committee to delay a decision until they firm up a commitment from Carfax to move to a renovated office space at the mall with 900 parking spots. City staff are recommending the rezoning be refused because it would violate a policy requiring large offices be downtown. The committee supported deferring a decision, saying they want to hear from Carfax officials themselves about their decision not to move downtown.
We just went through a long process of doing a downtown plan. And one of the recurring themes that keeps coming up is the vacancy rate is too high downtown. And here we have a commercial tenant that can help alleviate that.
We need first-hand information where we stand as a city. We cannot lose them. Do we prefer downtown? Yes. But we need this information.
The province's tourism minister is under scrutiny for his housing expenses. Public records reveal taxpayers have foot the bill for thousands of dollars in hotel stays. With more on the push for accountability, here's Siobhan Morris.
Stan Cho has been called one of the rising stars of the provincial government. But now there are questions about the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Gaming's expenses.
The minister got caught with his hands in the cookie jar.
Since 2023, taxpayers have covered more than $16,000 worth of Toronto hotel stays filed by Cho. The thing is, his home is just 6 kilometers from the Ontario legislature. MPPs who live within 50 kilometers of Queen's Park aren't eligible to have the public pick up the tab for a hotel unless there's an emergency like a snowstorm.
Now, I'd like to know why Doug Ford's ministers think it is acceptable to live the sweet life on the taxpayer dime while Ontarians every day right now are struggling just to afford the basics.
Cho's office said they couldn't accommodate an interview, but the minister shared a statement writing, "While these expenses meet the criteria for special circumstances, I will be personally reimbursing the legislature for the entire amount of the expenses incurred." The minister hasn't explained the reason for these hotel stays or why they were initially billed to taxpayers. That's leaving opposition leaders to come up with their own theories.
Because he felt entitled to them, right? Entitled to them, just like his boss felt entitled to the luxury private jet, right? And the MO with this government is, let's see what we can get away with.
The Ford government called Deb Hutton for a refresher on conflict of interest after the Greenbelt scandal. Now she says the Premier needs to make sure his MPPs understand what's acceptable to expense, something she thinks has slipped.
We're past the point where just adhering to what the actual policy is really smart. You need to actually respect tax dollars, and I think in this case, Stan Cho didn't.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
The provincial government is reportedly racking up a considerable tab keeping American alcohol off store shelves. The government has put all that booze in storage at a cost of $8 million so far. The products were pulled from the LCBO and other retailers back in March 2025, retaliation for U.S. tariffs. Previously, American alcohol sales amounted to about $1 billion annually. A government spokesperson says those products will remain unavailable in Ontario until the tariffs are removed. Meanwhile, a local brewery is expanding, taking over one of the region's largest wineries. And as Scott Miller reports, more growth could soon be on the way.
Midwestern Ontario's largest brewery is now in the winery business.
Over the years, we've worked to diversify our portfolios. So we now have a ready-to-drink brand called Hijinks, and we have a spirits brand called 12 Apostles. And we also make cider under the Carlyle banner. So really, the only type of beverage that was missing from our portfolio was wine.
In March, Carlyle Brewing, based in Blythe, bought the sprawling Dark Horse Estate Winery near Grand Bend. The original owners of the family-run winery that opened in 2014 were looking to sell.
We were approached by the previous owners last August, actually, so just about a year ago. They knew that we were heavily invested in the region. They know that we're very big on the hospitality and beverage format, and so this facility just made sense.
Fritzley says Carlyle, which opened in 2017 in Blythe, was seeing tremendous growth, and they were looking for growth opportunities. The 93-acre Grand Bend winery, now called Sterling Sands Vineyards, officially opened today, although they've been open under the new banner since late June. Fritzley says not a lot will change at the turnkey winery. They'll change up some wine varieties, more than triple the dining space, and really promote Sterling Sands as an event facility as they aim to fill the modern building and grounds with more customers.
We've been super fortunate with the Huron Country Playhouse, quite literally right in our parking lot. We have definitely seen a lot of business come from them, which has been absolutely fantastic. That was something that we were really looking forward to.
It's perfectly situated along the coast, and the views are stunning, and we're just very grateful to be here.
Now, Fritzley wouldn't divulge many details, but it appears as though Carlyle isn't done expanding in the beverage and hospitality arena.
We anticipate that there is more to come, both from a beverage and a hospitality perspective, so stay tuned, and we hope to be sharing more with you over the next year.
Near Grand Bend, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Harris Park has been transformed, ready to host thousands of music fans over the next 4 days. With more on this year's Rock the Park lineup, here's Nick Paparella.
The Lumineers are among the headliners for the 4 nights of Rock the Park in downtown London. The annual music festival attracts more than 40,000 fans to Harris Park. With final preparations being made to the park, bands will hit the stage starting Wednesday afternoon.
Lumineers, world-class, playing stadium artist. Amazing to be able to open the festival with them is fantastic for us. That's Wednesday. Then we get into our country night with our partners at Pure, with Jordan Davis and Tucker Wetmore on Thursday, Friday. Just a great night, party night with our friends at Virgin, with Nelly and Shaggy and Afro Man, Omi. Great hip hop fun night. Sort of a tradition we've had for almost 10 years now. And then Saturday's our hard rock night that always sells very, very well. People seem to love it, and we're thrilled.
With summertime construction in full swing downtown, Brad Jones says pedestrian traffic will be kept clear.
There's not going to be any change for people this year. They can still enter and exit through under Dundas Street, Dufferin as well, off of the end of Dufferin Street. And of course, our Blackfriars Bridge is open to have people coming down the side path.
If you're thinking of coming down to Harris Park, tickets are still available for all 4 nights. You can get them at rockthepark.ca or here at the gate.
Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling angel.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Still ahead, chasing a dream with a community behind him. How a young Stratford football player got recruited for his high potential, but needs some help covering the cost. Canada's main stock index finished in positive territory, helped by gains in the basic materials sector. The TSX rose 68 points. In New York, the Dow added 10, the Nasdaq up 234. The Canadian dollar gained 0.4 cents today. On commodity markets, gold is up $64 an ounce. Oil climbed $1.20 a barrel. Gas prices are expected to rise higher in the midst of renewed fighting in the Middle East. With more on those factors and where the impact will be felt the most, here's Adrian Gabriel.
The painful process of pulling up to the pumps is set to get even pricier.
Every time I hear the news is going up, it's a scary thing, man.
Gas prices are ticking upwards at midnight, anywhere from 5 to 10 cents per liter, depending on where you're located in the country.
We are seeing the effect of a shortage, of scarcity, of an energy crunch.
This is the average predicted price for regular gas in cities across Canada as of tomorrow, with one of the highest expected averages to be found in Vancouver at 198.9. One of the cheapest averages will be located in Edmonton at 165.
The world is quickly running out of oil, available oil to meet demand.
The price for Brent crude today hovered around $85 per barrel. The price this time last year was $66.84 per barrel. Stateside inflation in the United States cooled last month in part because of a dip in gas prices. Though the renewed strikes on key assets by both the U.S. and Iran in the Gulf has been a driving factor behind the rise in oil prices for a second consecutive day.
It's frustrating. It's a little bit scary, because I got a kid that I got to feed as well.
I still need to drive, so
you're stuck.
Yeah.
The road ahead for budget-conscious consumers and drivers remains both turbulent and unpredictable.
An additional heads up for those families who are planning to load up their cars and head out for a summer road trip this weekend. Gas prices are expected to continue to increase later this week. Adrian Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
The heat warning continues. Good evening. I'm meteorologist Julie Acheson. As you head through the overnight, expect clear conditions, but temperatures not dropping off, and we'll start the day with lots of sunshine. Thank you so much, Tanya, for this photo of Thor. A great way to keep cool on the beach. This was taken on Lake Huron. Sunshine and 24 degrees in the morning. We could see some hazy conditions develop as we head into Wednesday afternoon. Forest fire smoke from parts of northern Ontario could filter its way down to the south. Stay with us. I'll have all your local forecast details coming up right after this.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now. And as we mentioned earlier in the newscast, expected the peak of the heat was today.
Yes.
That means it's going to be cooler tomorrow, right?
Relatively speaking.
Relatively doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah, 35 today and tomorrow 33.
Okay.
But not quite as humid. So we have a weak backdoor cold front that will come through. What that does is it'll bring us a shift in our winds. So the winds will be coming in out of the northwest. But that creates another problem because we have forest fires in northern Ontario. We'll get to that in just a second. Heat warning warning widespread across the region today. The high temperature at the London airport this afternoon coming in at 35.2. Now, the last time, or the closest time, was back in 1995. We were 35 degrees. And the record, all-time record high, 36.1 back in 1936. We are still under the influence of this ridge of high pressure. There will likely be records broken across southern Ontario today, so we'll wait for a full list of those to come in. But in terms of heading into tomorrow, still holding on to the heat, but without the intense humidity. So I mentioned this weak front that will come through. Could bring a spotty shower. Risk of a pop-up thunderstorm, but the probability on the very low side tomorrow at just 30%. Now, there are some forest fires burning in northern Ontario. The winds will come in from the northwest tomorrow, so we will see a bit of cloud cover to a mix of sun and cloud. But with that northwest flow, that could usher in some smoke, and that would lead to some hazy conditions across southern Ontario. So keeping an eye on that, and of course our air quality as we head through the day. So it's still going to be quite hot in the area. Lots of sunshine to a mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon, but as the wind come in out of the northwest, that could pull down some of that forest fire smoke. Overnight, temperatures still extremely warm, dealing with a humidex close to 30. Overnight lows dip down between 21 and 24 degrees. So still feeling that warm, muggy air. Quick look at the carbon map, and you can see where the forest fire smoke is right now. Again, with that northwest flow, we will start to see some of that smoke streaming down. Sunshine to kick off your morning. It'll be hot first thing as we head into the afternoon. 33, still feeling like a 38. Next opportunity for rain will arrive Friday, late Friday evening, and we could see some showers on Saturday. There are two model solutions for the weekend. Right now, Environment Canada is trending on the drier end. I'm going to go a little bit higher with rainfall on Saturday, just because the recent model runs have shown a little bit more in the way of moisture in the area. We need the rainfall. I know it's not ideal timing coming in on the weekend, but in terms of how dry it is in the area, we could use some rain. 29 degrees for your Thursday, Friday sunshine, and then Friday night the chance for showers. We have rain in the forecast Saturday morning possibly, and then into Sunday back into a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs in the extended forecast anywhere between 26 and 28 degrees. That's a bit better than 35 for sure. Midwestern Ontario, sunshine to a mix of sun and cloud tomorrow. The high 31, 27 with a mix on Thursday, and the chance for rain moving in on Friday night. Temperatures improving next week with daytime highs between 25 and 26 degrees. Carlyle, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. Researchers at Western and Fanshawe have teamed up to reduce the amount of textile waste ending up in landfills. They're taking old materials and giving them new purpose. With more on the chemistry involved, here's Jerry Dewan.
These bits of charred material could help grow more robust plants. At one time, they may have been a shirt or a dress or maybe even a cloth bag.
At the end of the day, we want to transform the concept of waste into a different way of thinking. Waste does not exist. It's a resource for something else.
Professor Franco Barudi is founding director of Western's Institute for Chemicals and Fuels from Alternative Resources, or ICFAR. His researchers have been working in conjunction with Fanshawe College's Center for Research and Innovation towards dramatically reducing the amount of textile waste going into landfills.
We have a real problem with textile waste and the amount of clothing that we discard.
Jennifer Wright is a professor and researcher from Fanshawe's fashion design program who has been looking for solutions to the clothing waste problem for a number of years.
We've been collaborating on different stages of this project now for 3 to 4 years.
What the researchers have landed on is biochar, using extreme heat to separate the elements of materials, leaving a charcoal-like substance free of chemicals. One application for biochar could be for enhancing soil for crops, with greenhouse experiments showing encouraging results.
It helps the soil hold on to the water and nutrients better for the crops. And then also it gives some habitats for the microbes.
The plan now is to create a test plot on ICFAR lands growing crops using biochar.
Another benefit is that we are putting carbon back in the soil. And this is a carbon sequestration opportunity.
The researchers are working with Goodwill Great Lakes, headquartered in London. In recent years, Goodwill has held an annual Worn and Torn event, encouraging people to donate all fabric materials, no matter how worn or soiled they may be, rather than throwing them in the trash. The researchers have applied for a federal grant to increase the scale of their work and are looking for a wider range of applications for the materials, possibly leading to commercial opportunities. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Finally tonight, a young athlete from Stratford and his football dreams. He's being recruited to one of the top development programs in the country, but that comes with a cost. As Jeff Pickle reports, a community is coming together to help him cover it.
Elijah Megasuba is a big kid with big dreams.
Probably to play in the NFL.
Heading into grade 9 at 6'2", 275 pounds, and just barely a teenager, Elijah's been recruited by Football North in Mississauga, one of the top football programs in Canada, turning out dozens of top athletes.
So the offensive line protects the quarterback and makes holes for the running back to run into.
With plenty of size, skill, and work ethic, the only thing missing was financial support.
Realizing that, this guy's got the talent, this kid has a talent. The challenge becomes, how do you get them there, because there's a cost that's associated with it.
In steps homeroom teacher Tracy James, who spotted a special student athlete first on the volleyball court.
And I remember Elijah. Here's this 6'2" beyond kid who is diving for balls. And I remember thinking to myself, you don't see that size, that height, diving for balls. And there wasn't even a second thought.
To help fill in the financial gaps, James recruited her former teacher and now Mayor Martin Ritzma to help with the fundraising.
The old mantra takes a village, and this young man's about to leave the Falcon's nest, and whatever we can do to help him soar to his highest heights is important to me.
Local church Jubilee Stratford and Stratford restaurant Joe's Diner kicked in with a contribution, but despite the community help, more is still needed.
Almost full tuition, almost. It's the accommodation piece that we're looking to move forward with.
All pitching in with the goal of helping a young athlete reach his potential.
It means everything just to know that I have a really big support system, and everyone in Stratford's helping me out.
Jeff Pickle, CTV News, Stratford.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.